friendly beaders, welcome back. If you remember on the video where I showed you how to make the simple rainbow wrap bracelet, just widen you out a little bit, woo! I showed you some hearts and I said I'd make a tutorial on the hearts and people said they'd like to see it, so here we go. So these are a couple I've been working on, blue and white with the cording. These are made up of Superduo beads, the 2-hole Superduo beads with 11O C beads, a couple of 15Os in there and some cording for the necklace with a lobster clasp, an extender chain, a little drop on the end. So I'm going to run through then what you need for this tutorial and then we'll get started. I like this little red and pink one. It's more of a deep salmon really, isn't it? Peachy salmon. Peachy salmon? Should we go for that? Peachy red? Okay. Excuse me. So for this project then you will need 20, that's all, 20 Superduos, and I'm going to do one in purple, 2 15O C beads, that's all you need, 2 15O C beads and some 11O C beads. Now I was toying with the really deep purple or the lighter purple, but I've already done one in the deeper purple, so I thought I'd do one in the lighter purple and then put these cords with it. What do you think? Yeah? So for your cording then, you can either use whatever you've got. There's cotton cording on the market, so this is 1mm cotton cord, or there's some satin cord. Now I have been doing a mix of, so you could replace the satin cord with the cotton and do one of each. Those look quite nice together, so a lighter shade and the darker shade. I quite actually like that. Or you could use the darker shade purple with the lighter shade in the satin. I think the mix of the two does give it a little bit more interest, but I do like the two of them together as well. So if we look at the blue one, I used a white cord and the blue cord. It's just that the blue cotton cording has been more waxed than the white, so it gives it a brighter sheen. Yeah. So we'll discuss the cording later, but you will need 18 inches of both. Okay, 18 inches of both. Or if you only wanted to put one cord on, that's absolutely fine too. This comes down to what you like and your personal preference. Me, I like to see the two together, but it's down to personal preference. You will also need a size 12 beading needle because we do go through the beads a few times, so you will need a size 12 beading needle. You will also need some thread. I'm using 1G thread in the purple colour to obviously match my beads. 1G thread is a lovely thread to work with, really strong, little bit of movement in it, great for doing tassels and the like. I do like my 1G thread, but whatever thread you have. I have tried it with what's it called, Fireline, but it just didn't seem to work for me. I don't know why. I normally am a Fireline girl, but for this I'm using 1G thread. You will need some findings. I'll just move those out of the way just for a second. You will need some findings. You need some cord ends, obviously, for your cording. Now there's lots of different ones on the market. I'm just going to pull you in a little bit, so just to give you a closer look. There we go. There are lots of different cord endings. This one has got a little lip on the top that once you've put your cord in, you push it down and that holds it in place while you fold your ends over, so you could use that. Or there's the plain and simple ones without the fold over bit, so it hasn't got a little lip at the top. And what I do is I hold it with my pliers and then push either side over. So there's those, and also on the market there's some like this. This is just what I have in my stash, and they're more rounded. These are great for leather, but you could also use it for this if you wished. You will need 2 5mm or 6mm jump rings, 2 of those. You will need an extender chain, especially if you're making it a gift for somebody else, so they can lengthen the necklace if they so want it to. And I've got a little drop as well that I'm going to put on the end of the extender chain. If you haven't got a drop, don't worry about it. You can make yourself a little drop with a little spare bead. I just think it finishes the chain off nicely, having something on the end of it. And you will also need a lobster clasp. A little lobster clasp. So I'm just going to put my findings to the side for a moment. Tool wise, you will need a pair of scissors for cutting our thread, and we will need 2 pairs of pliers for opening and opening and closing our jump rings, Jane. Yes. Right. So, thread wise, the length of thread, I measure from the tip of my fingers to the centre of my shoulder, or to the middle of your chest. You will have a little bit left over. I just don't like messing with short little tiny bits of thread. So I would guess at about 2.5 foot. So what's that, 2.5 foot? 12 inches to a foot, 24 inches to 2.5 foot. So about 30 inches of thread. Like I say, I measure from my fingers either to my top of my shoulder or to the middle of my chest, and that's how I measure it. Okay, so I'm going to measure off my thread, thread my needle, and I will be back. You guys, you get your little supplies together. Nice and simple supplies. Catch you in a moment. So you've got your supplies together then, guys. Let's get beading then. So onto our needle and thread, we are going to put on 2 Superduos, 1 seed bead. So I'll bring you in a little bit. One Superduo, 1 seed bead. So we have 2 Superduos, 1 seed bead, 1 Superduo, 1 seed bead so far on our needle. Okay. Then we're going to add 6 Superduos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 2 seed beads, 1 Superduo, 2 seed beads, and then 6 Superduo. So we're just working backwards now. We've put on our middle section. It's going to make the centre of our heart. So we're just working backwards now. So now we want 6 Superduos, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 seed bead, 1 Superduo, 1 seed bead, 2 Superduos, And this last Superduo is the one that we're going to put in as our centre bead later. Okay, so bring those beads down our thread. I'm just going to move these out of the way for a second, just so you can see. Pull these beads down to our tail end, leaving a little tail. Okay, now all we're going to do is come all the way round and go through these beads again. Okay, I'll try do it on the mat, making sure that we don't miss out any of those beads, any of the Superduos or any of the seed beads. Okay, I'm quiet because I'm concentrating. Not very often I'm quiet, is it? Right, okay. Pulling our thread. I've got a bit of a knot in there, that's going to be a monkey. So I'm just going to cut that little bit off. That's better. Now we've got a helicopter flying over. Can you hear it? Oof, that's low. It's a Navy one, Air Force one. Pulling our threads, and this is what you will have. Okay, just looks like a jumbled mess, but I promise you it isn't. So we're going to tie a couple of knots just to secure, and as you pull, that thread should disappear into your beads. Now if it doesn't, like that's still gapping, undo your knot, because it will come undone quite easy, and just wiggle those beads together, pulling your threads. That's better. Okay, don't be afraid, they're only beads, it's only cotton, there's nothing bad's going to happen. Okay, couple of knots. And then finally, last one, putting it this way. Okay, and we have this. So all we're going to do now is needle through these beads all the way through the centre beads, and we're aiming to come out of these two beads here. Okay, so we're just going to go through a couple of beads at a time. Okay, just a couple of beads at a time. Carefully going through, giving our needle a bit of a wiggle. Wiggle it, just a little bit. Until we come out of those 2 beads. Just a couple more to go. Here we are. Come through those next 2 beads. Just the C beads. Because we're going to make this part now of our heart. Okay, and to make that part of our heart, we're just going to pick up 3 seed beads onto our needle, missing out the Superduo and jumping over coming through the next 2 seed beads, and if you can get through the next Superduo, then brilliant. So the 2 seed beads and the next Superduo. If you can only get through the 2 seed beads, that's fine, do that, and then needle through the next Superduo. But we need to be exiting the bottom hole of the Superduo next to the 2 seed beads to carry on to our next part. Okay. Pull our thread, turn it over because we want our seed beads that we've just added to sit on the bottom of our Superduo. Okay, if they start flopping over here and everything, just pull them into place. So our thread's exiting the bottom hole of our Superduo. We're simply going to come through the top hole of that Superduo, and because we've managed to match our thread up really well to our beads, you can't see the thread. Okay, and because I like to work that way, I'm just going to turn my heart over so I'm working away from me. Okay, so this is where the 15-0 seed beads come into play now. So pick up one 15-0 and come through the top hole of the Superduo that's sticking up. Okay, and pull the next 15-0 seed bead to the next Superduo sticking up, and we have this. Okay, now don't worry, as we work round we pull, and these will pull into place like this one. Okay, righty ho then, so I'm just going to pull some of these seed beads down and start working with these seed beads. So it's 1 seed bead in between all the Superduos, and as you pull, it pulls in that heart at the top and gives it its shape. But don't worry, if it's not quite there yet, it will be by the time we've gone round. So just working our way round our heart on the outer edge, we're just adding a seed bead in between our Superduos, holding our work between our thumb and finger, giving it a little pull as we go, and it's already pulled in our work at the top. But we just keep on going. Everything's a bit floppy at the moment, but please bear with me. Don't lose heart, keep going, and remember, the more you do, the better you get. Everything gets better with practice. Okay, so we're putting in a seed bead next to where the centre seed bead is, on the centre of our heart, we need to put one more seed bead in. Okay. If your tail is starting to annoy you at this stage, you can cut it off, no problem. Saves it getting in the way, just cut it off. So now is where our lone Superduo sitting on our mat comes into play. So we're just going to pop it through our next Superduo, give it a little pull, make sure it sits nicely, and then we have the bottom of our heart. Making sure our Superduo is in the right place, ready for our next seed bead. And we're just going to keep going. Ooh, don't catch your thread round, you need to be mindful now that your thread doesn't catch in between, and as you pull it, it pulls the Superduo into place at the bottom of our heart. Keep going round. Pulling our work and pushing between our thumb and our fingers. Put a little pressure on your heart and that will keep it in shape for you as we bead around. Just following the outer edge of our heart. Keep going. And now we're at the place where the little 15 seed beads are, so we need to reinforce that because we're going to work all the way around the bottom and then add our beads at the bottom of our heart. So we just need to go through the outer beads, going through a couple of beads at a time. There's no rush. We're supposed to be enjoying this. It's not supposed to be getting us angry and making us swear. We're supposed to be enjoying it. It's supposed to be therapeutic. Just going through a couple of beads at a time. If your thread looks like it's getting a bit tangly like that, look, just drop it down and run your fingers through your thread and your heart will spin. And it untangles your thread for you. Just keep going. And our aim is to come out at this bottom seed bead, our last seed bead, at the bottom of our heart. So now we're going to make this bit at the bottom. Okay, and how we do that is by adding 2 seed beads onto our needle, coming through the bottom hole of our heart, pick up 3 seed beads. Our thread is exiting on the left, and we're just going to come round in a loop and add the next 3 seed beads, and that gives us our point. 2 seed beads, and we're going to come up through the first seed bead on this side, and got through the Superduo as well. Turning our work as we go, give a little pull. Go through as many beads as you can I've managed to get through 4 that time, but don't force it. If it won't go, come back, because you don't want to be splitting any of your beads. A couple at a time. Until we reach our top C bead at the top of our heart, and we need to exit that C bead, not the Superduo but the C bead. Okay, and we're going to add our loop. Okay, so for the loop we need 9 C beads. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just double check. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're just going to come over to the first 11 C bead on the other side of our heart. Go through there, and I've managed to get through 3 beads. Okay. So the top 11 Superduo and 11 and now we're just going to reinforce our heart, working through all the C beads and all the Superduos on this round. My thread's a little bit tangled, untangle it. Ooh. And keep on going, aiming for the point of our heart, just a couple of beads at a time, and you can feel your work getting stiffer. And what was a jumbled mess at the beginning, you thought, oh my word, how am I going to do this? Nothing will lay right. It all lays right. So coming out to the bottom C bead then, and these are the bead seeds that we added on the last round. So we're going to go through 3, and that links them together through the bottom one, turning our work up through 3 and the C bead that's already in our heart. Okay, and it's all about the reinforcing now, so it's just a case of going through all our beads on the outer edge of our heart, reinforcing. So keep on going. How is everybody? Everybody okay? Did you watch my last video on the makes the luxury bead box? Oh, really enjoyed working with them beads. Anyway, here we go then, coming out of that C bead in the heart and going up 4 of the C beads, going through the top one, if I can see it. Get a bit closer, Jane. There you are. I like to do this separate. I like to go through the 4 and then the 5th one and then down the next 4, because I think it helps with the shape. And then we're going to go round again. So I like to put 3 lots of thread through that because it needs to be quite strong. So just a case then of going all around the beads again. Just a couple at a time, taking our time. It's not a race. This is our beading therapy. Oh, love a bit of beading therapy, don't you? So I'm going to make some pink ones for me and my daughter. Yeah, pink. She loves pink. My daughter's name is Jessica. She's in her 30s. Giving me 3 beautiful grandchildren, all boys. Eldest one, Lucas, had his 13th birthday. 13! God, I feel old. I do, I feel old. Apparently you're only as old as you feel. If you've got a toy boy, you're only as old as the man you feel. Oh, Jane, stop it. Oh, and I'm getting older and getting cheekier. Good luck to you if you've got a toy boy. Oh dear. Oh, got to have a laugh, haven't you? Life is very serious at the moment, so we don't need none of that. Need to have a laugh and relax. Okay, so coming up to the last time now for our reinforcing, and then we can get on to the cording. So going up 4 of the beads, across 1. If you don't want to do it this way, then don't. I just think it helps a bit with the shape. Down 4. And then through sea bead and the Superduo, and we're going to start tying off. So through the, I like to put my knots here so they can go, if they wish, into the sea bead. So to make a knot then, put your needle under the thread. I'll just pierce that. There we go. Under the thread, pull it through, you get a little loop. Put your needle then through the loop, and it puts a little knot in between the beads. Go through the sea bead, next Superduo, under the thread, through the knot, through the loop I mean, sorry. How can we go through with the knot when we haven't made one? Through the loop, pulling down a knot, chain, and into the sea bead and the next Superduo. Last one then, I think 3 is enough. Under the thread, pulling the loop, needle through the loop and pulling down the knot. Pass through a couple of beads, pull your needle through and cut off our thread. Job's a good one. And look, I put all those seed beads out. I think I counted them. I think you only need 43 of the 11 seed beads. I think that's all you need. So I'm just going to put these away to try and keep my work area tidy. If you could see my workroom at the minute, it looks like a... I'm going to call it an explosion of creativity. That's what I call it. Other people would call it other things, I'm sure, but it's an explosion of creativity. So there's our heart. Just going to, there we go. All ready for its cord. What do you think? Do you like that? I love it. I think it's gorgeous. Beautiful. Oh, it reminds me of chocolate. You know, the purple wrapped type. Can't think of chocolate, I'm on a diet. Sorry, not a diet, a healthy eating plan. Okay, right, so onto the cording then. So I'm going to widen you out a little bit now. There we go. So, cording. What shall we have? Shall we have 2 satin? See, that goes really nice with that. I think I'm going to go with the light satin and the purple cotton. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yes, definitely. So, I'm going to measure off then 18 inches of each. So, rather than undoing it all and getting myself in a great big knot, because it always does, if you undo it too much, it just goes in a great big knot, or not a knot, like a great big mess. So, Percy, where are you? Come on, Percy the snail. I'm going to have a little sticker printed out saying Percy, or I might just write it on with permanent marker. Okay, so come on, Percy, do your job. 18 inches we want here, my friend. So holding your cord up at the 0, I'm sure you know how to measure off 18 inches. And just working our way down. Taking our scissors, cutting it off. Thanks, Perce. You can go away now. Oh, just flip me. Cording on the floor, Percy, you naughty boy. Oh. No food for you later now, being naughty, chucking that on the floor. Did you see it flinger? Oh dear. And then getting our other cord, putting it alongside, holding the ends together, running our fingers down, and cutting off our thread, our cording. Let's move those out the way for a second, otherwise we won't be able to see what they'll all get tangled up. Right, so now to bring in our bits and bobs. I'm going to use those, some chain, a little doodah, and 2 jump rings. Okay, so getting our pliers ready to help, putting our 2 cord ends together, placing them in I'm dropping it, placing them into our cord endings. Just going to bring you in a little bit just so you can see what I'm doing, how I do mine. So I take them past a little bit so I can hold with my nail, and then I place my pliers over them and then push one side with my thumb. Go back in, you naughty things. And then giving it a squeeze with my pliers and making sure I push down hard. Turn it around. Hold it in place for a second or 2 with my pliers. Give the side a bit of a squeeze, a helping hand round. then just squeezing, making sure that you put some nice pressure on so those cords don't escape. Just to the other side then, so run our fingers down just to make sure that the cords run side by side. Again, placing the cords in our finding, cord and clasp cord finding, holding with my nail, holding with the pliers, give that side a bit of a squeeze down, releasing, and then squeeze it down, turn it around, holding with my pliers, give it a squeeze, with my thumb apply some pressure just so it bends, starts to bend over. Can you see it's starting to bend over? And then pressing the rest down with my pliers. Okay, so all we need to do now is attach. So taking our jump ring, I'm using a 5mm, but you can use 6. Always opening our jump rings from north to south. Attach one end on to our cord, taking our extender chain and closing our jump ring, making sure it's nice and secure. Now the other end of our extender chain, find out where this split is in the chain, which side it's on, which end it's on. I think it's there, yes, there. Open up the link, popping on my little dangle, extender dangle thing. Closing the chain link. Put my pliers in the ring. That's better. And then I always like to turn where the link is broke, if you know what I mean, not broke, but where they join. I like to turn that bit up to the top of the links. Okay. Taking the other end of our cording, opening our jump ring from north to south, attaching it on to our cording, put on our clasp, and close our jump ring. Feeding our end through the necklace, either end don't matter. And now we have our finished necklace. What I like to do with these cord, oh, I'm just widening out a little bit, sorry guys. What I like to do with this cord, because they can be like, you know, a little bit crumpled, I like to hang them a bit. You can spray them with a little bit of water, but only a fine mist, just to help the creases drop out, and I just like to hang that up. I've just realised what's missing out of these. I've just realised, guys, I don't put them through there. Hang on. Well, you can put them through there if you want to, but I also like to do this. It just adds a bit of interest. Just going to take that out of there a second. Just bear with me while I just go over to my other desk to get me other jump rings. I thought it looked... I do some like this and some I like doing like this. So, taking a 8mm jump ring. If you haven't got any, no worries, you can thread straight through like I have done on the blue one. Take a jump ring, put it through, just because it's open, put those two ends through, the cord through, and close your jump ring. That's more like it, that's what I like to see that. So I do apologise, I will add the 8mm jump ring onto the description of what's needed under the video down there. So what do you think? Which way do you like it? I do like both, but I think I like the one with the silver jump ring. But if you haven't got them, don't worry, you don't need to, because it looks just as good. You could even do like a knot thing, so you could tie them together. That would be nice too. So you could tie that in a knot, so that hangs like that. I like that idea as well. So, which way would you go? What colours would you choose? I've done lots of different colours. I've only got these ones left with me though now. I've done pink ones, blue ones, purple ones. Well, have a look and see if you've got odds of Superduos in your stash. If you've got 20, you can make this necklace. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, little tutorial using bits and bobs of what you've got left in your stash, because you don't have to use a lot of things. It's only 2 15-0s and I think it, like I said, 43 seed beads, some cording, or they'd look nice on a bit of leather, or ribbon would look nice. Nice piece of ribbon through, that would look lovely. Some cord endings, and you've got yourself some lovely necklaces. Think ahead for Christmas, Christmas gifts. Looks quite interesting. So there you are then, guys. So next up will either be another tutorial on how to make some earrings, or it might be the June bead bottle subscription from Deborah Beads. We'll see how things go. So that's all from me then today. If you've liked the video, please do give me a thumbs up. Do drop a comment. I'd love to hear what you've got to say and how you are. It doesn't have to be about beading, you can just let me know how you are. Let me know that you're there, let me know that you're watching. You could just even put I've watched. That'd make me laugh. So please like the video. Thumbs, let's see those thumbs. Subscribe to me if you'd like to see more videos from me. Other than that, I'll see you on the next video.
Next level. next level.